Hey, how are you guys today? We're going to talk about recent Toyota Corolla news. I guess the hottest topic lately is the recent bill that was passed. New York State Assembly member proposes COVID vaccine requirement. I was thinking about what the number means in gematria. So it's Assembly Bill A11179, so three ones and a 7-9. If you add up the three ones, it equals obviously 3, and then plus 7 is 10, plus 9 is 19. So the numbers in the bill add up to 19. Is that how it's supposed to work? Is it supposed to add up to it? How do they number the Congress bills? Is it a coincidence that it adds up to 19, or did they make it add up to 19 like their satanic 666 stuff? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I guess we should start with reading this bill. So, relates to administering a COVID-19 vaccine. It is introduced. It is in the committee. Requires a COVID vaccine to be administered in accordance with the Department of Health's COVID-19 vaccination administration program and mandates vaccination in certain situations. Now, the whole context of this is completely ridiculous considering that, one, they've never even actually isolated COVID-19 on its own in a petri dish. They've never been able to actually isolate the virus and prove it exists. Two, they haven't been able to prove that a virus is transmissible from person to person. So the base facts about what a virus is and what COVID-19 is are already dismissing why you would even want a vaccine. And the whole idea that this is even imposed and that anything, it's crazy that the mainstream media can just make shit up and steer people in whatever direction they want. In Assembly, December 4th, 2020, introduced by Committee on Rules, read once and referred to the Committee on Health. An act to amend the public health law in relation to administering a COVID-19 vaccine. The people of the state of New York, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1, Article 21 of the Public Health Law is amended by adding a new Title 8 to read as follows. Title 8, COVID-19. Section 2178, COVID-19 vaccination. 2178, COVID-19 vaccination. At the time a vaccination for COVID-19 is approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research Vaccine Product Approval Process and the New York State Clinical Advisory Task Force, such vaccination shall be required to be safely and effectively distributed in accordance with the department's COVID-19 vaccination administration program. 2. Once the United States Food and Drug Administration Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research and the New York State Clinical Advisory Task Force have approved the safety and effectiveness of a COVID-19 vaccination, and promotion and distribution plans of such vaccine have begun pursuant to the department's COVID-19 vaccination administration program. If public health officials determine that residents of the state are not developing sufficient immunity from COVID-19, the department shall mandate vaccination for all individuals or groups of individuals who, as shown by clinical data, are proven to be safe to receive such vaccine. This is kind of weird because, okay, what proves, how can they prove it's safe and effective? Isn't that going to take like 10 years? How quickly can you prove something is safe and effective? Like, it's not something that can be done within years, let alone months, which is what they're implying here. If public health officials determine that the residents of the states are not developing sufficient immunity from COVID-19, okay, if public health officials determine, so the people that have decided to, the satanic globalist elite that have decided to shut down the world when actual statistics of death are the same, and they basically just label everyone with a COVID-19 death, those same fucking people are determining, public health officials determine that they're not developing sufficient immunity from COVID-19. Just like they're determining that all small businesses have to be closed so that McDonald's can still prosper. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is so stupid. And any individual who has received a medical exemption from a licensed medical professional shall not be mandated to receive the COVID-19 vaccine and shall be excluded from the requirements of this section. So basically, any Freemason or Illuminati or secret society member is going to be able to easily get an exception. And who knows what you have to understand. The doctors are also going to be told what to do here. So you might be thinking, oh, I can get a medical exemption, but they might just say, okay, well, only connected people are going to get medical exemptions. they can basically say, in this it says, where does it say that? If the residents of the state are not developing sufficient immunity from COVID-19, the department shall mandate vaccination for all individuals or groups of individuals who, as shown by clinical data, are proven to be safe to receive such vaccine. Individuals or groups of individuals safe to receive such vaccine. So what that means is that they're basically going to say who can safely receive the vaccine or not. So if they say it's safe for old people, it's safe for babies, it's safe for immunocompromised people, that's going to determine what the deal is. Fall off a ladder, COVID-19. Where's the vaccine for AIDS? It's all a scam. It's all a scam to control people. It's all a scam to control people. Who knows? I mean, this is kind of bullshit. So overall, my thoughts on this are, there's no way it's going to fucking pass. I mean, who knows, though? Who knows if they just want to pass it to exude more people from New York? I mean, listen, I mean, it'd be interesting to know what these people had in mind. You could speculate that they're trying to remove as many people from New York as possible, build like the world's biggest smart city, and then get people back in. So they still might be trying to push people out of New York. Who knows? But this is New York State. So what I would guess, if I had to guess, one thing that's a very high possibility is that the bill gets declined for New York State, and then there's some type of bullshit clause or something where, not clause, but I think it's very likely that the bill gets declined for New York State, and then they try to pass it as a New York City requirement. The state will empty. I think this is just a test. Honestly, what would you do if they force vaccination? They can't. You don't understand. They can't force vaccination. If they can't force vaccination. First of all, the only scenario where they can force vaccination is if they send 5 members of the military to every person's door. That's the only way they, how many military members are they gonna send to people's doors to force vaccinate people? There's gonna be people that are gonna be willing to get vaccinated, and there's people that aren't willing to get vaccinated, and those people will literally kill whoever comes to their door and tries to vaccinate them. So are they going to? I mean, look, the types of weaponry and the stuff they have. They could just fry you with they don't have to. It doesn't make any sense. If they wanted to kill you or harm you or whatever, they could just fry you with a satellite from space. They don't have to come to your door to harm you. If they need to force you to get an injection, they can't technically by natural law force you to get it. By all the real estate, like they say in GTA. Are they going to spray it in the air and put it in the food supply? I mean, why are they so desperate to vaccinate people, just to poison us further, or what? That's the main. That's the main theory, because people that get the flu shot get sick. So, I think there's 2 reasons for that. The main one was that it alters your DNA to make you more complacent. Another thing could be that it makes you sterile and reduces fertility even further for depopulation. Another possibility is that simply it just makes people sicker, because I don't know how true it was, but someone said they were putting like a vitamin D blocking enzyme in regular flu vaccines. So people would, the flu is basically caused by vitamin D and nutrient deficiency. So if you're able to give someone a vaccine that causes the deficiency year after year, the person's going to keep getting sick over and over and over and over and over again. So if people get the vaccine and they put something in the vaccine just to get people sick, even if it's as simple as a cold or something, and it's a little cough, people are going to get sick in COVID, and they're going to say, oh, people are sick, people are going to go to the doctor, people are going to go to the hospital, this or that. If they get more people sick by vaccinating people, it's kind of stupid, because the more people they can vaccinate, the more they can fake COVID. Because if the vaccines do get people sick, then those sick people are going to say, oh, I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest. Who knows if the vaccines are going to get people sick, and then the people that are near them are going to get sick too. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have people that got sick that say, oh, well, I had the COVID vaccine, so I just got a little sick from the vaccine, so I'm fine. But what if those people get other people sick somehow. What if that happens, and then those other people that didn't get vaccinated suddenly, I don't know, it could be a compounding effect. They'll make it so you can't use your credit card or other services, just like they force you to wear a mask. No, I mean, we know they can. YouTube put a warning below your stream. What does the warning say? I guess we could look and see what it says. Frank Tufano. What does it say? COVID-19. Get the latest information from the CDC about COVID-19. Coronavirus vaccines. Safety is the top priority. How CDC is making COVID-19 vaccine recommendations. What you need to know about CDC is making COVID-19 recommendations in the United States. Recommendations process. Okay, we know they've had the vaccine behind their backs for 15 years. We know they've had it ready for 15 years. What's fishy is they're trying to pass a bill to mandate vaccinations when the vaccine isn't even ready yet. Like, hold on, buddy. Before you try to sell me a steak, you should probably slaughter the cow first. See if there's something wrong with it. Hey Frank, what's going on with YouTube taking away your subscribers? Did you get an answer on anything that happened? I mean, YouTube has been heavily shadow banning my channel for over a year now. You know, really, I mean, I don't give a shit. I'll mention people's names, but the only reason I don't want to mention people's names is because, in this specific context, there's a lot of YouTube channels that are similar, and I don't want to point out any one specific person because you could basically look anywhere. You know, I've done over 1,100 videos on my channel now, and I've done over probably a few hundred live streams in addition to that. And I would be surprised if someone can find one other YouTube channel with the amount of content, the quality of the content, and the amount of views I have, just like physical, let me see if I can show it on here. I should be able to see what my well, I deleted a lot of the live stream views, so I think that might be reflected on the on what I'm going to look at here, but let me see if I could just see total chat. Actually, no, you could just go to so what's that website? I've never used it. Social Blade, and we could look up okay, so look, let's look up Frank Tufano on Social Blade. I've never used this, so let me see if it's working first. Okay, Frank Tufano has 955 uploads. Oh, okay, so maybe when I was looking at my uploads, it was including the live streams. So 98,500 subscribers, almost 20 million video views. I don't think that includes the live streams. So let's look up. Can you search by subscriber count or no on this? Top lists, supported platforms, live counts. Okay, I don't know. What's a good example? Who can I search? Okay, so here's a good example, actually. This is actually a perfect example. Stephanie Keto Person has 14.7 million views. 75% of my views. And that doesn't include the live streams that I missed. I don't know how many real views I have, and she has more subscribers than me. Hench Herbivore has a quarter of the views and half the subscribers. The numbers just don't add up. This guy has the Masonic pedophile has just over, well, he has 12 million compared to my 20 million, and he has 30,000 more subscribers. So even just looking at similar channels, then it's very obvious that that, you know, something fucky's going on my channel. And then obviously you don't want to look at you don't want to look at others. There's a lot of stuff that's more glaringly obvious. Like basically, I mean, I don't really want to dwell on this too much because it's very obvious. There's no point in explaining this because it's very obvious my main channel is shadow banned and I'm not growing. But there are people with like, let's hold on. Like, there are people with a fraction of the amount of views I have with double to triple the amount of subs. They might try to stop you from having a driver's license and force you to walk if you don't. Well, you guys are saying all this stuff. You guys are saying that they're going to do all these things to prevent people, to make it so people have to get vaccinated to basically participate in society. Now, my question is, how do you think they're going to go about doing those things? Could they be injecting us with nanos to track us and control our health? Okay, now, they can already track you. They can already track you with, everyone has a cell phone. They have electromagnetic radio frequencies that most people aren't, you know, guys, I have a fucking, the bed canopy that I'm selling, and I should have it on listed tomorrow. I literally have it, maybe next stream, live stream, I'll show you, but I can't because the light can't get in it. I literally have it around both of my living spaces. You know, if people aren't like me, they don't live in a metal box. These radio frequencies from cell phones, from Wi-Fi towers, they can not only track where you are at any point in time, they can tell what you're thinking. So they can already track you. They can already track you. They can tell what you're thinking. And so why do they need a vaccine? Well, the reason I think they need a vaccine is because they're altering DNA to make people more complacent. It's about quality, not quantity. No, I mean, first of all, the quality of my YouTube videos for that volume is way higher than anyone else. Anyone else that has the sheer volume of YouTube videos, I'm willing to bet that no one else has as high quality YouTube videos as many as I do in my span of time. Dr. Berg might be the only person that comes close, and obviously Dr. Berg has, I don't know, what does he have, a few million subs now? So obviously let's actually look at I wonder what my Social Blade looks like compared to Dr. Berg. I mean, I'm sure if we look, I would be very surprised if the ratio was we have to do the math on this ratio actually. So Dr. Berg has 620 million views and 4.1 million subscribers. So let's divide 620. Let's actually do a more exact. So let's do the exact number. So 619, 641, 549, 619, 541, 649, 619, 540. All right, we messed up. Hold on. 641, 549. So well over 600 million views divided by 4.13 million subs divided by 4130000 equals. So he has 1,500 times. Is that correct? He has 1,500 times the amount of views as subscribers, right? What do I have? Is that right? No, that's, hold on, that's way off. Hold on, no, that's, I'm dumb. 4 million times 15. This it's 150. I think I missed a zero somewhere, or I added an extra digit somewhere. 119. Yeah, I added an extra digit here. So he has about 150. He has about 150 times views than subs. What do I have? 19,690,902 divided by 98,500 equals 199. So I have 200 times the amount of views as subs. So even so I should basically what we've looked at. I should have at least 25 to 30% more subscribers, and my viewership per view should be much higher. So I mean, looking at any of this stuff it's very simple math. You can look at any YouTube channel and see that something's going on. I don't know why I'm focusing on this today. It's a waste of time. How can they tell what we were thinking? Frankie's free range meats are just as good as Butcher Box. Dude, are you trolling me today? Oh, you are trolling me today. Okay. Someone just said something in chat I was going to say. Oh, how can they tell what we're thinking? So the biggest secret that the elite don't want you to know is that just like a cell phone emits radio frequency, your brain emits frequency too. So there, like, every single thing you think it's not like your thoughts aren't in your head. When you think something, it's actually emitting a frequency of energy. Dr. Schmidt goes along with the fake virus. Yeah, I mean, most of them do. They don't really have a choice. I mean, at this point, the few people that weren't shills, the problem is now all of the Masons and all the secret society members have to be complacent with this new agenda, because this is it. This is literally it. This is the New World Order. This is everything. They cannot speak out against it. We are electric beings. How can they read these frequencies of your thoughts? Well, I mean, every. I don't know. I'm assuming they can. I would assume with the technology and all the stuff they have, they can. So if they target you with radiation to alter your thoughts, how do they know your new thoughts will align with their agenda? I think so far that the types of methods they've used to alter our thoughts haven't really been through actually physically blasting your brains with specific frequencies. Well, no, they have done that, but when they blast your brain with a frequency, it doesn't require you to actually I mean, it gives you an inclination to think a certain way. So obviously, if someone has a headache, they're not going to be thinking that positively. They're not going to think that good. So one big thing that people do, one big thing that they do is they get people into the, the pharmaceutical. They get people taking all types of drugs and antidepressants and keeping people in fear with the media. So they keep, most of the time, most of the tools they're using to keep people in a negative and fearful mindset are used through the stuff that people have access to. In combination with, it's a combination. They're trying to hit you on all fronts. They want to discourage you with shit like this. So like shit like this, I laugh in their fucking face. It's fake fucking nonsense. Like, it's fake fucking nonsense. Like, I know you're not going to force anyone to get injected. That's not going to happen. No one's going to agree to that. No one's ever going to agree to it. They're going to, as I said earlier, I think they're going to use this to impose restrictions in other ways. They're going to say, okay, well, that bill didn't pass, but it was a good idea. So I think what we should do is, in order to buy a Metro card or get an MTA card, you have to get injected. Or in order to enter New York City, you have to get injected. I don't know what they're going to do, but when you look at this stuff, it's bullshit. It's to keep people in fear and worried about certain things and not focusing on other things. Because if you understand what's happening right now, like, I mean, there's always leaking shit. Like, I just saw earlier, an hour or two ago, the Obama's daughter or boy, I don't know who, with his inverted gender bullshit now, they leaked a TikTok of them partying with their masks off. There's pictures of governors and politicians purposefully being leaked with their masks off. That's them telling the public that, this is a fucking joke. And if you understand that, what they do is they keep people in fear, and then they focus on what they want. So when these secret society members know the truth, if you know the truth if you know the truth about everything, you'll obviously be far more confident in achieving whatever you want to achieve. If you knew the truth about everything, then if you knew 100% fact that COVID was fake, that this is all nonsense, and that type of stuff. Obviously, if you believe that 100% is fact, if you can put that idea in your mind, then that would drastically change how successful you are. And that's basically what these people are doing, because they know it's fake. They know they're in on it, so they're able to focus on other stuff. I'm the guy with EMF-induced erectile dysfunction from Instagram. Still haven't had a hard-on. I haven't done a video on this yet, but I don't really hook up a lot, but all I noticed was that a couple of times when I went over girls' places, I couldn't get hard at all. And then a couple of other times, it was like the complete opposite. So I'm 100% sure that the Wi-Fi and the EMF levels in the environment can induce erectile dysfunction. And it also depends on your personal health, but Wi-Fi can greatly induce erectile dysfunction. You do consultations for everything. I mean, I've done a handful of fitness consultations, mostly nutrition consultations. As soon as I get into my apartment complex, I got headaches. But what makes me so sensitive to Wi-Fi? People think they're sensitive to Wi-Fi, but it's not natural. Saying you're sensitive to Wi-Fi is like saying you're sensitive to fire. Yeah, no shit, you're sensitive to fire. That's a really dumb thing to say. I've applied to 100 jobs, no response. Well, the point is to don't focus on that. Don't focus on what you're not getting. Focus on what you want instead. Climate change is fake. Yeah, but I think the climate change thing is a big major factor they're going to use to control people. They're going to get everyone in these electric cars where they're getting fried. They're going to control people more and more. I really do think the climate change agenda is they're going to pull. Someone had I was watching some videos a couple months back. Someone was saying that they were in Australia, they were purposefully causing droughts by setting up dams and basically causing droughts in the entire country. And one theory was that they were going to, and with the geoengineering too, the theory was that they were going to sacrifice the entire continent of Australia in the sake of climate change. They were literally going to sacrifice Australia and set Australia as an example for the rest of the world. Say, this is what happens with climate change. They're going to manufacture the climate change by setting up dams, by spraying stuff in the air to prevent rain. And they're going to basically cause a giant drought, make Australia a desert, and then force people, do some wacko shit where they force people off Australia in some psycho manner, as set as an example for the rest of the world. And that's a theory. I don't remember where I saw that video. It could be completely fake. Climate change is to get us to eat bugs instead of meat, and it's part of the Great Reset agenda. Yeah, the scary part is it is a big part of the Great Reset agenda. That video that the World Economic Forum tried to wipe, where it said like you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. One part of the video is meat will be more of a treat now. Like they're gonna do something you have to understand, if they say something's gonna happen, they have to do something drastic for it to happen. What kind of crazy shit are they going to do to get people to reduce their meat consumption? How are they going to get people to not buy local grass-fed beef? Besides fried, I think they're just going to fry the farmers and the animals with with Wi-Fi and say, oh, the animals got sick. I think they have 5G towers set up everywhere to kill the farm. I think the reason specifically that if you go to basically any farm, there's 5G towers nearby is because they're going to fry the farm animals and say they got sick. They also make natural disasters to force people out of populations. I would assume that a manufactured natural disaster that kills people goes against some type of natural law. So I would assume that those natural disasters are, the death tolls are faked. They spray the hell out of the skies to make us sick. It's hard to say if the stuff being sprayed in the sky directly makes you sick, or if it's just blocking the sun so you don't get vitamin D. I would assume that, because I measured my hair aluminum levels and they were like 0. I would assume with if there was aluminum in the chemtrails that I would be breathing some in. What are natural laws? I've never found a source to look them up, but the most important natural law to keep in mind is that basically they have to tell you if they're going to do something, or you have to agree to it. So they can't if you understand natural law, you understand that they can't actually mandate a vaccine and come to your house and forcibly inject you with the vaccine. They have to basically lay out the framework to get you to agree to the vaccine. Just like they get what's a good example for this? They don't come to your house and force you to get the flu shot. They convince you that it's important to get the flu shot. Someone brought up AIDS earlier. They don't convince people. What was I gonna say? And related to AIDS, it's like, if someone, I mean, I don't know, if there's a lot of documentaries saying the whole AIDS thing was a hoax. So in the case of AIDS, they make gay people so fearful of getting AIDS that they're inclined to get tested and take all these types of drugs for it. But what if they didn't do that? So they're getting, and then what happens? What if when you do start taking that medication, it does make you sick or give you something? They have to, the natural law makes it so you have to agree to whatever they do. They have to reveal it, and we have to accept it in a way. Yeah, so if they reveal the vaccination and say you get $5,000 for getting injected, that is an example of you accepting it. That's a very simplified example of it. You only have to get it if you want to buy groceries, go to restaurants, or travel. Yeah, well, then you just join the Amish. Did you read the thread about how viruses and AIDS aren't real? If you just look into very low level, like if you basically just Wikipedia what a virus is, there's nothing showing that a virus can be transmitted from person to person. There's nothing very simple. It's not there's no scientific or proof that a virus is transmitted from person to person. What about HIV? I shouldn't have brought up the HIV conversation. I don't really know what I'm talking about. What I do know is that Dr. Fauci was the proponent of the AIDS pandemic, and now he's the proponent of the corona pandemic. So you believe the medication people get who have AIDS is what kills them? I would bet on that for sure. I've heard that. I would bet on it. I would bet that the medication the gay people are taking is making them very sick. I mean, there have been gay people for thousands of years, right? Why were people I don't know, does anyone know, were people dying of AIDS 3,000 years ago? Were cavemen dying of AIDS? Like, we know Freemasonry goes back thousands of years, so we know there's plenty of homosexual activity. I think they had saunas several thousand years ago too. So I'm sure if hey, listen, I'm sure if listen, let's put it this way. If AIDS was real, I think all the Freemasons would be dead. Let's just leave it at that. How do people give each other flus and colds? That's different. That's bacterial. You can get sick. You can get an immune response from a bacterial infection. If you like kiss a dirty girl or a dirty boy, and you get their bacteria, your body you might get sick, and your body might have an immune response to their bacteria. But the point is that you had to physically closely interact with someone, and it's a bacteria. It's not like it's different than a virus. This will likely be what starts a social credit score system. Yeah, there was someone made a joke on Reddit. Why isn't China locked down like the United States is? And the person said because China already has a social credit system. We're living in 1984 book, just a twisted version. Did anyone else see Wonder Woman 1984 advertisement movie? Why is the new Wonder Woman movie have 1984 in the title? What's significant about the year 1984 besides that George Orwell shit? Are generic facial cleaners like CeraVe harmful? All right, I'll throw you a bone. Let's look up the ingredients in CeraVe. Usually, yeah. Usually they are harmful. CeraVe. What do they have? A facial cleanser? A lot of people could get misdiagnosed with AIDS just because they have a low T cell count one day, but back to normal the next. I mean, again, I don't. All I can speculate on is that it's fake. Ingredients: purified water, cocamidopropyl, hydroxysultane, glycerin, sodium lauryl sarcosinate. I mean, I can almost pronounce half of this stuff, but honestly, okay, no. So I don't listen. I don't know what a lot of these ingredients in this are, but I can safely say it's not good. And just having it says here hyaluronic acid, which is a lot of this stuff is very caustic to the skin. It's not something you want to put on your skin. And it has a lot of additives and chemicals too. I mean, I wouldn't use something like that. Lately, I've just been using clay. I was gonna do a new video on it. I don't know if it's worth it. I've just been taking just to clean everything on my body. I just take the clay from Frankie's Strange Meat. Not. I'm losing my fucking mind. I take the clay from Frankie's Naturals, and I just put it in my hand, and I just rub it like all over as like an abrasive cleanser on my face, in my hair, everywhere. Instead of the black soap. You're so negative. Any positive going on? I mean, am I being negative or are the topics negative? You have any arguments or fights from not wearing a mask? I don't wear a mask in public, and no one's ever bothered me. But I can't. You can't go in a store without wearing a mask. You'd be stupid to do. I mean, in New York, you'd kind of be like, if you go in a store, and try to start shit for not wearing a mask in like Whole Foods or something, you're gonna get kicked out of the store. They have someone standing at the front. First of all, they have someone standing at the front. They're not gonna let you in. They'll kick you out. They'll blacklist you. They'll refuse to serve you. You're just gonna stir shit up. So, if you want to try to do the not wear a mask argument, the problem is, like, what do you want to do? You want to argue with people in public, or you want to argue with people in their business? It's not the argument to fight. The mask argument, you're arguing with people that are technically should be on the same side. When you argue with someone for not wearing a mask, you're not arguing against some like you're not arguing against the fucking elite satanic asshole that is controlling the world. You know, you're arguing with some dude that got brainwashed that viruses are bad and they're gonna get sick and die if you don't wear a mask. That's what you're arguing with. You're arguing with stupid brainwashed nonsense bullshit. And once you understand that, you realize it's a waste of your time. If someone on the street said, I mean, no one said it to me. I don't know what my actual reaction would be. It'd probably be to, I would assume I would just ignore them and not care. My first guess would be I'd probably just ignore them and think that this asshole isn't worth my time. My second guess would be like to make a joke, like I'm too handsome to wear that shit, or like, what is your face ugly? Is that why you like the mask? Usually not worth it. You can use the clay shampoo on your body. Yeah, what happened was, so one of my viewers said that they are having problems using the African black soap. It irritated their skin. And I think I told them they could use the clay to try to wash their skin. I never tried it myself, and then I decided to do it the other day, and just to test it. And yeah, you just put a little bit of clay on your hand and you wet it, and then you rub it on whatever skin you want to wash, and it cleans pretty effectively. I don't know if you can use the black soap for washing your clothes. I don't know. I don't think you can. I had a mass confrontation at the gas station last week. I was when I was getting gas at the station, which is self-service. I mean, I don't in my car at self-service gas station. I don't wear a mask in general. I don't wear a mask unless I have to walk into a place. But on the door to the gas station, it said something like, per New York state law, you have to wear a mask, which was just a lie. Because they didn't pass a law that you have to wear a mask, right? So the business owner basically lied and said, New York state law, you have to wear a mask. I guess he didn't want liability by saying, like, this is a private establishment, you have to wear a mask. I had the cops called on me for not wearing a mask. I'll have you. In New York, New Jersey stores will call the police for no mask. Well, you can, because it's a private. It's not public. It's private. You own the property. If you own a property and you don't want someone there, you can call the police and have them removed if you initially invited them. The problem is, if you initially invite them, you have to call the police to get them out because they were initially welcome. You can't just like hit them in the head with something, which is what I would prefer to do. When do you think realistically you'll have raw butter and milk on Frankie's Free Range Meat? I'm not really sure. There's a couple problems that have to be worked out right now with Frankie's Free Range Meat, and I have to figure out if it's worth taking. I mean, we could, if we get some Amish people to do it, we might realistically be able to get dairy and eggs soon within the next 2 or 3 months. But the main issue is then we have more of a commitment of products to a larger amount of people, which might cause issues for other reasons. Fear-mongering reduces focus, too much stress, and lack thinking. Fear causes anxiety. Anxiety causes breathing problems. The anxiety effect is a weak immune system from fear. I mean, yeah, if you get stressed out a lot and really anxious, yeah, you could get sick just from that. Did anyone ask about the lost subscribers? Yeah, maybe for about like 5 minutes throughout the live stream, we just spoke about. We didn't really spoke about that much. We spoke about, like, I just pointed out, okay, well, if you look at any other YouTuber, for the amount of views I have, I should have substantially more subscribers. In New Jersey, they call it a state mandate for masks in stores. People, probably just to scare people into it. I mean, again, as I said, you're trying, if you want to be an asshole and walk into a privately owned establishment, not wear a mask, like, you're not arguing with the global elite. You're just arguing with some fucking cashier that just wants to make his $15 an hour and go home. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, okay, there might be some security officer or some asshole on a power trip, but at the end of the day, the guy makes 15, $20 an hour, and he's just getting and he's just brainwashed into the virus bullshit. And even if he doesn't believe it, he's just doing his job, what he's getting paid to do. Same thing. You could say the same thing about all these Freemason, all these secret society assholes, even though they know more and they know better. The reason these Freemason and secret society assholes do what they do is they basically, they swore a death oath. They're committed to what they're doing, and even if they want to oppose it, they already signed the dotted line. They're screwed. Yeah, just because it's Whole Foods, not Jeff Bezos directly. Yeah, I mean, that would never happen. I guarantee all these high level elites, all these people, they're afraid of even going out in public. They're afraid of going out in public. They're a bunch of, I mean, the reason we call rat boy is because a rat is a good word. You know what happens when you see a rat in the daylight? They scurry away and run the fuck away. That's not an excuse, just like the cops say it's just my job. Well, yeah, they might not be doing the right thing, but hey, the reason they say it's just my job. Well, the real reason is, no, you're making the decision to basically to go against like other humans' will just for your own well-being. Make a healthy fried chicken recipe. Yeah, the problem is I'm trying to avoid some dairy lately, and almost every fried chicken recipe requires dairy, like buttermilk. Oh, I wanted to try to make fried chicken with coconut milk, but I'm not sure if it's possible. How tall are you? I'm 5'8". Does taking iodine remove the negative effects of plastic bottled water? It's like getting burned by a fire and then pouring water on it afterwards. I mean, it might help a little bit, but you have to kind of remove the negatives. Any plans for Christmas? I don't know. Maybe my vitamin supplements will come in from China before then, and I'll get to my Christmas presents will be me losing my mind making 15 supplements in a week to try to launch it before Christmas. I think that's what might actually happen. It shouldn't be a crazy amount of work because I already did the math. I'm pretty good with that type of stuff, but you got been waiting on the supplements for a while. Coconut milk tastes like crap. Anything tastes pretty good when you're hungry. Are you sleeping better now with the diet change? Yeah, my sleep was really good for a week or two, and then I just started eating too much chocolate and drinking too much juice, which kind of I gotta just like buckle down and remove juice and chocolate from my diet because they always cause problems. I'm debating on I've been really going back and forth on actually just stopping the bodybuilding stuff, especially with what's going on. I mean, just overall the fact there's too many it just seems like there's too many negative factors. And I could be wrong on this, but I've heard I've watched a couple popular fitness YouTubers recently. Regan Grimes was one of them. That guy Vintage Genetics was another, and they were talking about how the stuff I was saying, like, oh, you need to remove the tendons and the ligaments from and focus on the muscle. Now, I don't know if those guys were saying that before I was. I'm assuming they were. I find it very difficult to believe that professional fitness influencers would watch my channel 6 months ago and then start incorporating my stuff. That being said, they probably do that for my diet information. So why wouldn't they do it for the fitness information? So there's just a whole bunch of discouraging factors, that being one of them. And that was something I was worried about initially with the fitness stuff. Like, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. Just like Rat Boy attempted to steal my nutritional information and just use it on a larger platform to sell shit. The same thing would happen with my fitness information, except I would be even more fucked because I'm not large in the fitness community, and no one in the fitness community knows about me, and they've done a very good job at silencing my channel pertaining to fitness stuff. And anytime I do, since I'm not in the, I mean, I don't want to go down my list of, I don't really want to go down my list or make a, or I don't even want to really do a video on the negatives about why I want to stop the bodybuilding stuff, but it just doesn't make sense right now. All the shit going on in the world, like no one's going to gyms, no one's going to go to a gym anymore ever again. Kind of rambling. Are farmed oysters safe to eat raw? I mean, I did a video on seafood a couple weeks ago. What supplements will be coming? I'm supposed to get some stuff in. I don't know what happened. Let me actually see. I gotta actually see what's going on with some things, because most of the stuff is coming in. But if I don't get the emu oil for the supplements, we might have a problem, because buying emu oil, I could buy enough emu oil to make some supplements, just like on Amazon or something, but it's too expensive. I ordered this emu oil back on October 9th. Actually, no. I ordered the emu oil on September 22nd, almost 3 months ago now, and it's still not here from China. So this supplement stuff is a nightmare. 3 months, it's still not here from China. It bothers me so much how these millionaire fitness dudes all eat factory farm garbage when they can have fresh wild game for every meal. Well, it's hard to say. That was another reason with the fitness stuff, is all of these guys, they're a bunch of lying juice heads. These guys are never gonna come to you and say, "Oh, steroids are the only reason I look like this." And yeah, there's multiple parts to them looking like that, but by pretending to be natural and that they don't take steroids, they're obviously misleading people. They don't exactly have to say the only reason that I look like this is because I take steroids. What they should say is, well, yeah, steroids, obviously you can't look like this unless you take steroids, but you also have to diet and train properly. But even just saying that kind of discredits them just as much as the first statement. Especially with the liver problem, you need to stop the bodybuilding so your body can focus its energy on healing the liver. Most annoying thing in the fitness industry is girls doing bullshit workouts, having fun, pretending like that's what got them their body, so misleading and unethical. I wouldn't. Girls doing bullshit workouts. No, those girls are guys. So, most of the female influencers are biological males. That was another problem. I noticed that a lot of the, I'm pretty sure a lot, the inverted gender nonsense overlaps to fitness as well. You wouldn't believe the amount of females that are males, and the males that are females are much harder to identify. Here's a good example though.
Today I have a special guest who is IFBB Pro Wellness. Guess who?
Hey guys, my name is Isa Pereira.
I mean, this one's really fucking obvious. You can see the giant Adam's apple in her neck. And there were a lot of comments that were deleted here. Bakar was a man. What is wrong with her? There were so many comments here. Like, people know this was a dude. Like, there were a lot of comments here. So it's funny because there were a couple people saying like, oh, the testosterone is making her voice low, I think they deleted a lot of the comments that were calling her a man. These women are beautiful. Stories made her voice like a man. See, there's some people that realize it. Bakar is a trans, right? If not, like, dude, the fact that these people can't fucking tell this obvious is fucking hilarious. It really fucking is.
Guess who?
Hey guys,
like, her voice is deeper than mine.
Pereira. I am FB Pro Wellness. Today we are going workout
10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17. Because I'm all over my Instagram and I follow some Brazilian girls because I'm inspired. This is the exercise that I've noticed.
I don't know, man. This is a less obvious one. This is a less obvious one. I think she placed number 2 at the Olympia. How do you guys like this one?
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here is Laura Chapados. You probably know by now, but thank you guys for joining me today at the Coliseum Gym.
This is another part of the reason that I'm probably should stop the bodybuilding stuff, because because I can't keep my mouth shut, dude. I'll just start fucking calling out all the trannies in the fucking fitness community. And by trannies, I mean like car transmission. I was working on my Taurus earlier. I installed some new ball joints. I did the power steering pump and serpentine belt. The tranny was fine though. The transmission was good. What am I watching? Oh, we were just watching a video of female fitness influencers. Her voice is deeper than yours. She's kind of hot. Nah, that's a girl. What do you mean? Look at the man legs and man hips. The scary part is that there are people who are actually attracted to that. Hey, listen, if you put enough makeup on something and they do enough squats, most boys are gonna look at them. Surprised you guys don't. I guess. Dan, someone said that the other week. We did it already. I think in last stream we did that. Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know how much of a factor like me talking about this shit on this channel if they're censoring my main channel because of it. But if I said the shit I wanted to on my main channel, I'd be taken off YouTube in a fucking day. There are fitness influencers with millions of followers that are inverted gender, and most people can't tell. But they're really fucking obvious. Like, a woman does not have an Adonis belt. A woman does not have a cleft fucking chin. Like, people are that fucking brainwashed. And it's kind of scary because even just 2-3 years ago myself, I didn't notice this stuff that much. I'm thinking to myself, how did I not notice that shit? I felt inflamed after eating meat from a pellet smoker. Heard of that? I mean, that's a question that requires more details, like what type of meat did you smoke? How long was it smoked for? Every live stream for the past month, the last 15-20 minutes is always inverted gender related. Yes, for some reason it always comes up. But it's an important component of this whole conversation, because if these people are willing to lie about their gender to deceive you, what else are they willing to lie about? It's all about deception. Is Lou Ferrigno a man? I would say most likely, but we can double check. I don't think there's any high-level bodybuilders that were biological females. I mean, the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, I would bet that he was born a biological female. Now you could tell him. I mean, there's not that many good pictures of Lou Ferrigno out here right now. But we could look at, instead of answering, is Dwayne Johnson. So like most people would think that like this is it's diff. Did we talk? I don't want to talk about this today. Actually, this is I don't have the brain capacity to explain this again. This is a lot of growth hormone and a lot of testosterone injected artificially. I mean, just in his face, the face is very feminine because he doesn't really have like, outside of the chin from all the testosterone usage, like his brow ridge is actually like, he doesn't have a brow ridge, which is very unusual. And the forehead is very tiny. It's female forehead, female skull. I don't want to really detail this today though. The point is there's a lot of inverted gender people. Frank, look up woman with cleft chin. Woman with cleft chin. Am I gonna laugh or what? Yeah, that's a woman, all right. Yeah, that's definitely a woman. Woman with cleft chin. Is that fucking Henry Cavill? That after he shaved? Like, what the fuck? Like, does anyone think that's a woman? Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, that's definitely a woman. Definitely a woman with a cleft chin. Definitely a woman with a cleft chin. Definitely a woman with a cleft chin. 100% woman with a cleft chin. This is. Oh, yeah. That's definitely a woman. For sure. 100% woman with a cleft chin and a brow ridge. Yeah. Isn't that a pretty easy surgical procedure to get rid of a cleft chin? Do they do it just to make fun of us? It's fucking hilarious. Alright, enough of this shit for today. Is Henry Cavill a transgender? Guys, I'm not doing this today. Were those dudes? Yes. Can you put a sizing guide on your shielding website? Yeah, when I go to the tailor tomorrow, I'm going to ask her the sizing. I mean, generally speaking, heavily smoked meat, I mean, I can't really eat it. I get sick too. I mean, you might have some underlying issues that are making it so you can't tolerate certain preparations on the meat. Want to do BitChute for the heart? I mean, BitChute is controlled too. I made a BitChute with my name on it, and I got like 5 views on one video. That was it. I think BitChute and all of these platforms are just ways. They're just trying to steal YouTube's viewer base for their own platform. Because they're not, or if you go on YouTube, you can't like, not YouTube. If you go on BitChute, you can't like organically grow your viewer base. You're just taking people from YouTube that are willing to come over. Don't you have any moderators anymore? Just ran into some issues. Mainly, you know, mainly the moderators on my channel were, I saw them in chat rooms of other people that wasn't too happy about them participating in the chats. like I understand it's a small community, and like the carnivore vegan stuff and nutrition stuff is kind of small, and people enjoy watching other people's channels. But just the fact that some of my viewers like being on other people's channels and live streams, actively participating in a positive way, puts a bit of a sour taste in my mouth when I know that those people are secret society assholes, or they've harassed me in the past. I see a lot of I haven't done it lately, but I've seen a lot of my viewers in other people's live streams, and not just other people's live streams, people that have actively said negative things about me, whether it's ridiculously negative things about me intentionally. Guys, we'll wrap this up in a few minutes because I need to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I might just eat something and go to bed. Is Justin Bieber a girl and Hailey Bieber a man? Yeah, I looked into that maybe a month or two ago. That's 100%. I would bet on it. How's the Wi-Fi shielding and Best Bar going? It's pretty good. We'll see if it's just an initial burst of sales or if it's consistent. I'm trying to get some more products on Wi-Fi shielding. I'm trying to get wallpaper, paint, phone hookups to wire your phone manually. I'm trying to get some more products on Wi-Fi shielding. I'm still waiting on some Mason asshole to steal my ideas again and start a new company. Why don't people just want to be their own gender? Should I order Wi-Fi shielding now or wait till you release some more products? Well, there's free shipping, so it doesn't matter. It's not like maybe international. I mean, I'll say when I launch my bed canopy, I'll say it in a video like, if you paid for shipping or received a discount on your previous order, just let me know and I'll apply this. I'll either remove the shipping cost or apply the discount to a future order, because I don't want people to be penalized just because they had to order twice because I added more products. Lead paint was outlawed. Yeah, that's why the reason lead paint was made illegal wasn't because lead paint was dangerous. It was because lead paint blocks Wi-Fi. What is the EMF protective clothing made out of? Silver. How's the lawsuit? I don't know if I was going to make a video on it asking for funding or not. Lawyers are ridiculously expensive. If you want a decent law firm in New York City, just to write up like one motion for the case, just one motion, and you need multiple motions for the case. One motion is $25,000. Like, does this dipshit that's suing me know that I drive a 2001 Ford Taurus? Like, do they think I'm like, do they think I'm trying to create some facade where that I'm like this poor guy that doesn't have fucking money that drives a 2001 Ford Taurus and lives with his fucking parents? Like, do you think I want to fucking do that? It's fucking ridiculous. I just said I basically couldn't afford to buy a new car, so I had to basically fix half the fucking Taurus. And I did it myself. Someone was giving me shit for having, in the video with my sister's day of eating, someone said, "Frank, clean your nails." And I had grease in my hands from the car, which is hard to get out. But I basically replaced quite a bit of shit in the car. I replaced both struts, the front rotors and brakes, the power steering pump, serpentine belt, ball joints. They're trying to bankrupt Frankie's free range meat. Yeah, good luck with that one. If they knew Frankie's free range meat was broke, they wouldn't be suing me. I'll send fucking Rat Boy's lawyer a screenshot of both of my bank accounts tomorrow. And if I bet you I bet you one of them's fucking watching this right now. I will send them screenshots of both my fucking bank accounts and tell them to like suck my dick. Like, what the fuck are you guys wasting your time for? He already took thousands off you before. He just doesn't care. He's a rat scum. Apparently, well, he does care because he's suing me. But what I was going to bring up was, I don't know if I should make a video on trying to raise money for the lawsuit. If I was going to do that video, I was going to say like, okay, well, this money is probably going to actually be used towards going towards the farm and that type of stuff, because I'm not. If I asked my viewers for money, I wouldn't waste I wouldn't want to spend my viewers' money on fucking legal fees. Frankie boy, you need mechanical tips? Watch Scotty Kilmer or Car Wizard on YouTube. You guys telling people, if you're suggesting someone watch a video on how to fix a car, I feel like you've never tried to fix a car yourself. If you guys have one thing go wrong on the car, have you ever spent like an hour straight hitting a strut as hard as you could to try to get it off a car? Like, all that just has to happen. Like, you just have to run into one rusted bolt to never want to work on a car again. And it's not that stuff is not it's not hard to deal with from a mechanic standpoint. It's hard to deal with if you're some guy that jacked his car up in his fucking driveway. You don't have the tools to deal with that stuff. The tools cost more than the job to do. I'm quite sure the point of the lawsuit is to remove the competition. No, I don't think so. I think at this, I mean, they can't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their deal is. I think they've realized they can't beat me in the carnivore space. No, I think he's just trying to preserve some of his image. I mean, to be fair, the PaulSaldino.com website was probably a little overkill. I don't know whose idea that was. I mean, the lawsuit isn't really that exciting. Lawsuits are generally very boring. Lawsuits are basically, if you guys want my summary of the lawsuit, his claims are dog shit. They never stand up in court. My counterclaim for plagiarism and unfair business practice, if that's what I do, it doesn't really, it's not against the law to plagiarize someone. Legally speak, it's very, in a civil lawsuit, it's very difficult to prove something was done illegally. It's very, very, very difficult to do. I think his claims are dog shit. I think my counterclaims are dog shit. And by dog shit, I mean they might be okay, but obviously not enough to get some type of judgment. It's just a matter of who has more money to file more motions and waste more money on lawyers. I don't think anyone wins in this case besides the lawyers. Usually mechanics use blow torches with rusted parts. My brother used one to get the seized up ball joint out. No, if it's really rusted, you can't use a blowtorch. I mean, we had WD-40 and we torched the bolt for like 5 minutes. And the problem is, if you don't have another bolt to replace it with, I mean, yeah, Sarah, I know that stuff, but like that's ridiculous amount of work. Like, first you hit the bolt with the hammer 10 times. If it doesn't come out, okay, it's fucking stuck. You WD-40 it. If it doesn't come out, then you got to torch it. If you torch the bolt and it doesn't come out, then you're going to probably damage something that's going to cost way more money and time. If you torch the bolt and it doesn't come out, then you can angle grind it out, but that probably leads you to using a cutting torch, which is just a ridiculous amount of work. Then you have to rebuild the whole fucking thing. You should have just bought a new car. The lawyers are always the winners. The lawyers are the winners. What are you going to do about the case? It's probably just going to get dismissed. If Joe Rogan asked you to come on the show, would you go? Is that a joke? Did you watch my video titled Rat Boy Plagiarized Me over 50 times on the Joe Rogan Experience? This lawsuit is like children fighting for candy. No, it's fucking ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous fucking dog shit. All right, guys, we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. I just need to go now because I don't want to stay up that late. What if he asked you to go on the show? Well, one, Joe Rogan would never ask me to go on the fucking show because I know Joe Rogan is not a fucking he. These New England cars are rusty as hell. It just becomes a matter of how can you fix the car as cheap as possible with the least amount of tools. I mean, I bought some, I bought a cheap impact wrench and some jack stands and stuff, but the amount of stuff you need to do some of these jobs is, it's $1,000 in tools. It's too much. You're definitely right. They can't compete with you in the carnivore space. They all know it deep down inside. They just don't internalize it well. I think they do internalize it well because as soon as I quit carnivore, they're setting up to quit carnivore. If the catalyst for everyone else quitting carnivore was Frank Tufano doing it, then that just confirms that stupid. What if you blackmail Joe Rogan? Like, no one's... The internet is so censored. Like, if you made a video on YouTube, like, talking about that shit, like, one person would see it. Did you see the video I did? Yes. This is the thing. Like, when I do videos about this stuff, I make sure it's, like, really... The reason I'm allowed to say certain things on YouTube that other people get taken down for is because I'm very careful about how I go about stuff. Like, this video was all my videos are very suppressed, like, but the EMF ones only got like 3K views and the other ones get like double to triple that. There are the videos on my channel that are notably suppressed, but this one that got 3K views was insane. And if you understand the context of this, so this video titled "Mystery Illnesses That Hit Diplomats and Spies for Microwave Radiation Attacks." So this was a huge fucking mainstream story. 20, 30, 40, 50 articles on it. I make a video on it. It's heavily censored. It gets like no views at all. The fact that such a popular topic, mainstream, gets so censored on my channel And the only reason I was able to talk about this was because I basically read what was in the articles and what was published in mass on mainstream news. I wasn't this. You could not call this a conspiracy because it's 100% what's going on. That's the way I was able to frame it. And even in that context of this is the perfect storm. This is the perfect storm for me to talk about EMF and Wi-Fi. It's a huge media blitz. They literally say microwave, cell phone, and radiation in the articles. Radio frequency energy. This was concrete, absolute proof that that EMF exists and they have weapons that can do it. And this is a fucking man in a dress. But the point is, if this video doesn't get popular, nothing will. Frank smirking at Emily's comment. I can't answer that. It's not appropriate. Why do you have 100,000 followers and only 9 people watching live? I'm like, I say I'm shadow banned on YouTube, but my shadow banning on Twitter and Instagram is a whole different fucking story. Instagram, I have 10 viewers live and I have like 100. My Instagram is fucked. What happened on Instagram was I'm just not in the algorithm. I used to be in the algorithm like 2 years ago. Then I stopped posting for 6 months and it kind of fucked me over. And Twitter, I'm just heavily censored. I get like 5 likes on my tweets. And I don't really tweet enough. And when I tweet, it's not like on Twitter, people want to see like funny one-liners. Like, that's not all of what I do. How often do you ship for Frankie's Free Range Foods? I try to do it every day or two. Also weird. I don't remember most of my dreams. The fact checkers are rowdy on IG. I barely bother posting on Instagram and stuff anymore. You need to go on TikTok ASAP. You'd blow up on TikTok. I tried TikTok for like 2 weeks and it wasn't really going that well. I mean, I guess TikTok was going kind of well. You know, I mean, hey, I got, you know, some of my videos on TikTok, I got a few thousand views. I did okay on TikTok, and I might have been able to do okay on TikTok with fitness stuff, but I just realized it was a waste of time. All social media platforms are heavily censored. When people say, "Oh, you'll blow up on this or you'll do well on this platform," that's just a lie because they're all controlled. And I'm just not good at TikTok stuff. The TikTok stuff, like the dancing and stuff, I can't do. The workout fitness stuff on TikTok, I could probably put it on there, but doesn't really get that many views. I mean, the thing is, if I went on TikTok and did the fitness stuff, even hypothetically, if I get really popular on TikTok, TikTok followers don't translate to anything. It's not going to help. And I'm not going to get popular because they're just going to censor me. Don't do dancing, just do random shit. I think I got shadow banned on TikTok when I let's go to my TikTok actually. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's got to be up, right? TikTok Frank Tefano. That's not me. Well, is it possible that is it possible that I disabled or deleted my maybe I deleted my TikTok account? Hopefully I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe I did delete my TikTok. I don't think I did. Who knows? Videos. Man, did I really delete it? Maybe it's not active, so it went away. I don't remember. I did a TikTok where I pulled like a stack of $100 bills out of my pants as a joke. No, you didn't. What's the URL for TikTok? For my account? All right, we'll see if we can find. We'll see if you have 234 followers. Why can't I see it on Google Chrome? All right, we'll check out the TikTok. Let's see if I can find the TikTok, and then I'm gonna go. Using TikTok on desktop is a bad. Yeah, but I just want to. I don't have TikTok on my phone. I uninstalled it. TikTok. Frank Tufano. TikTok Frank Tufano. What is the... Oh, it's Frankie Tufano. That's why. Okay. Was Frank Tufano taken, I guess? No, this isn't working. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know. Check your phone. I mean, I can't show people the TikToks on my phone. I have to show them online. All right, hold on. TikTok.
Mommy, I'm back from Jessica's house.
Oh my god.
All right, this is ridiculous. Maybe we'll do it next live stream. The point is, if you guys have TikTok, I have some pretty funny TikToks on there. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. We'll try to do another live stream on Thursday. Hopefully we get the bed canopy up and running, and we'll get a couple more products on Wi-Fi shielding. But outside of that, I'll see you guys for a video every day this week as usual, and we'll see what happens.